In this video, I'm going to show you how appointment scheduling is done via the Appointments app. When you go into the Philly Deals workspace and you click on the Appointments app, you'll typically see this calendar grid view. This will be the default view where you can see the available, booked, and not available slots on this grid here. Note that if you don't see this view of the app, you'll just need to select the calendar grid view. So if I click into a particular spot on the grid, I'll see some information about that slot. So you can see the blue slots are appointments that have already been booked. The red slots are ones that aren't available because there's no sales reps available. And the green ones are where there's at least one sales rep available for an appointment. So let me scroll down here pretty far into the future and I'll pick a particular slot. So the process here is to first pick a time that is green on the calendar and also works for the seller's schedule. So in this view, you'll be able to quickly arrive at a time slot that works for both the seller and at least one of the sales reps. If I click on this 11 a.m. time slot and scroll down, you'll notice that all three of the sales reps are available at this time. Note that once you assign a seller lead through this field here, the system will choose a rep based on a round robin process so that each rep gets a fair share of the leads. And note also that the system checks to verify that the rep is within 45 miles of the property before assigning it as well. So I'll go ahead and select a particular seller lead here. I can search by number, phone number, name, property address, whatever it might be. And then when I select this, the system will perform the round robin processing. So you'll see some activity here on the right-hand side where the system is figuring out of these reps which one should be assigned this particular appointment. So you can see some activity going on here. It's pulled over the deal notes here from the seller lead. It will also pull over any of the other information if it exists on the seller lead. So that'll be synced. It takes a few seconds for the system to process the appointment assignment. And you'll notice that the process is complete when there's a comment in the item that says that a particular rep has been assigned to this appointment slot. The system has actually assigned Anthony, and there'll be a comment posted when the process is complete. So if I scroll down here, you can see the comment that Anthony has been assigned to this particular seller lead for the appointment at 11 a.m. So Anthony will get this notification. The other thing to note here is that if I look on the appointment grid, on the adjacent slots, Anthony will automatically be blocked off from any adjacent spots on the calendar so that you don't overschedule him. So once I open up the June 8th slot, let me go ahead and select on June 8th. I'll first select the 10:30 slot. So you can see that Anthony was removed from the sales reps available list here because he was scheduled for an adjacent appointment. So one thing to note that you cannot change the time of the appointment directly from the appointments item here. If you need to reschedule this particular appointment for the seller, what you're going to need to do is first remove this seller lead from this slot, since everything works based on slot. So what you'll do is you'll remove the seller lead here. And what this will actually do, if I go back to the appointment grid here, you'll see here on the calendar grid for the 8th that the 11 a.m. slot has been reopened And also, if you look at the adjacent slots, you'll see that there's a message here that due to the reschedule of the appointment that was at 11 a.m., this slot has been opened back up for Anthony. So he's now re-eligible again for appointments at 10:30 and the other adjacent slots as well. So that's step one of the reschedule. Well, let's say, for example, that the reschedule needs to be done later in the day. You're going to want to be mindful that that seller lead has already been assigned to Anthony. So you'll want to verify that he's available at this time. Note that if you do happen to schedule this seller for a different time slot, the system will notify you if it has been already assigned to a sales rep and that that rep is not available at that particular time. So I'll go ahead and reassociate the seller lead with this new slot, and that'll complete the process of assigning this slot to this seller lead and the same rep that was assigned before. You can see that Anthony is actually the assigned to now on the seller lead, and so the system will take a look at this and make sure that Anthony is the person that's assigned to this new slot. So it's a two-step process to do the reschedule. Step one is to unassociate the seller lead from the appointment, and then the next step is to find another slot on the grid and reassociate that seller lead, bearing in mind that the rep that you've previously assigned through the round robin will be reassigned to this. One thing you'll notice once the sales rep has been assigned to this slot in the grid and this seller lead, this button here, send appointment reminder 4 hours prior to appointment, will be selected. This will make sure that prior to the appointment on the same day, the seller gets a text message reminding them about the appointment so that we can reduce the number of no-shows. You also have the option after this has been scheduled to send a text message right away. So this is the mobile phone number. I'll go ahead and click send appointment information to via text message now, and this will send an immediate text message to the seller with the sales rep's name in it, and that way they can click on this and add it to their calendar and make sure they don't miss the appointment. So this covers the process of scheduling appointments. There's also system features that enable the availability of reps to be managed. The reps already have the standard weekly availability, so certain days and hours in which they're available for appointments, and that's what's going to show up on the sales reps available field on the appointment slots. In addition, there is a web form, which you can find a link to this on the Appointments app description here. So if you click on this web form link, you'll get to a web form that looks like this. So let's say Antoine has a dentist appointment first thing in the morning on June 8th. He can go ahead and select himself, select a start and end time and date, and then once this is submitted, the system will go ahead and update his availability for that time on the calendar so that appointments aren't scheduled for that particular time.